even get to cross.
What is going on YouTube? Super Quagsire here, and today I'm bringing you the next episode of my How to Use Pokemon series. This one is going to be over Quagsire. One of the last comments on the previous How to Use recommended using Quagsire, so I figured I'd show some sets off. He's okay, he's in the NU tier right now, but his abilities can pretty much make him usable in all of the tiers, even OU, which is really cool, and his typing's kind of nice defensively. It's water ground. So grass is the only thing that hits him super effectively, I believe, but the grass does hit him 4 times super effective, which kind of isn't really a bad thing, only because there's not many grass types in OU that are any good, or that actually attack. They're mostly walls, other than Venusaur and Torterra, I believe. I don't think he's in OU though. But anyways, he's usually a wall, and he hits fairly hard, decent attack stat. Not very high, but not very low either. He's pretty much middle of the tier. His HP is fairly high though at base, 95, and his defense is an 85 base, so after some EV investment, he ends up being fairly bulky. But for the first set, the item is Leftovers with the ability Unaware. He has 3 really nice abilities. Unaware, he ignores other Pokemon stat changes when he does or takes damage. So if a Pokemon +6s off Swords Dance, he's going to hit as if it was a no buff. And if he's hitting somebody who's like Calm Mind +6, he's hitting as if they haven't buffed at all either. So it's really good, and that's what makes him so usable in all the tiers. Damp is his next ability. Well, it prevents Pokemon from using Self-Destruct and Explosion, and it negates the Aftermath ability. So it's pretty niche, and you can use it on a team if you're afraid of like Golem or Graveler setting up rocks and then exploding. And then Water Absorb, which is one of my favorite abilities in the game, is the Water Immunity move, and it heals a quarter of maximum HP when it's hit by a water move. I really like all of the immunity abilities on every Pokemon. I actually have a UU team built around the immunity abilities, which is really fun to use, and like I said, it's just one of my favorite abilities in general. But Unaware is just so much better than a lot of abilities in the game, and it's pretty much the only ability he can use to even be usable in any tier whatsoever. But for the moveset, this version is just a max HP, max defense, throwing the last 4 into special defense just to kind of give it even more bulk. Impish Nature because it's not using any special attacks, but it will be using Earthquake. We use Curse as the first move. Curse is just, the regular boosting, +1 attack, +1 defense, and it slows it down by 1. But his speed's base 35, so it really doesn't matter how fast he is, and it actually kind of helps if your opponent's setting up Trick Rooms and stuff. You can switch Quagsire in, and he's probably going to be the slowest mon on the field after 1 Curse. The second move is Recover. The reason I hate coming up against Quagsire is because he has Recover. He's so bulky, with max HP and max defense, that Recover pretty much makes any super effective hit pretty much a 2-hit KO, whether you've predicted it correctly or not. And with Trick Room up, if you do use him on a Trick Room team, Recover is going to go off first a lot of the time, and it's going to make every move pretty much a 2 to 3 hit KO, which is awesome. For the next 2 moves, they're just both double stab moves. Waterfall for the water stab, physical, has a chance to flinch, and then Earthquake, because Earthquake's the best ground move in the game, period. I don't care what anybody tells you. And again, the EVs, max HP, max defense. For the second set, it's a Rest Talk set. Chesto Berry, Unaware abilities still. Rest, Sleep Talk, 1 boosting move with Curse, and Waterfall. EVs are spread out a little bit differently though. I put a little bit more into special defense and dropped the defense to 250. Only reason why is because while he's asleep, if you don't hit the Curse, and if you don't hit the Waterfall, you're going to be just taking a hit. So I like to increase the special defense just a little bit so that it can survive a touch longer while asleep if you do miss the Curse or Waterfall with the Sleep Talk. And it's just the basic Sleep Talk set. Waterfall over Earthquake for the final move slot, only because while it's asleep, you're not really going to be able to choose what move you're going to use, even with Sleep Talk. And the Waterfall, there's not a Pokemon other than Water Absorb Pokemon that are actually immune to water moves. But with Earthquake, there are Levitators, there are Flying types, and you don't want to risk being slept onto something that just is immune to your move. On to the third set, basically taking the EVs from the previous set and switching the nature to a Careful nature to give more boost to special defense. This is a special defensive mixed Quagsire wall. Leftovers Unaware still Recover, but you drop Curse for Stockpile, because Stockpile is going to increase defense and special defense up to a maximum of +3, which is fine anyways, because you use 3 curses. You're only going to end up using 2 or 3 curses anyways. So Stockpile raises both of them up, and this is a more stally version. it uses Toxic instead of a second attacking move, just so it can stall out like Chanseys and Slowbros and stuff like that. The last move is Earthquake, but again, just as the same with the previous set, you can use Waterfall instead, just so there's no immunities, but really that's up to you. I prefer to use Earthquake on this set in particular, only because I can control when I'm going to switch out and go in, and Earthquake's a more powerful stab than Waterfall stab, so that's my reasoning there. On the EVs, max HP, 88 defense to take it to 228 at 100. Let me switch it to 50, and I believe they should still be, yeah. So the reason I spec it this way is I still want max HP, but I want the defense and special defense to both be even, so they're both 116 right now, and then Stockpile's going to keep raising them up together evenly, so it's going to be a really good mixed wall. On to the next set. This is more of a trolley Quagsire set that was pretty fun to put together. I was looking through his moves and I saw he got Infestation and Yawn, so I figured it'd be cool to, you know, mix those together. So the item's Binding Band. It's going to make Infestation do 1/6 instead of an 1/8 on damage. We still use Recover just to make sure he stays alive. For this ability though, in this specific set, you don't really need Unaware, but you can use it. If you don't use Unaware, I would recommend using Water Absorb just for even more HP recovery, and you can predict switches and stuff like that and get more HP back when you switch in and out. But again, Recover, same as all the other sets. Pretty much all these sets are going to run Recover. 50% increase to HP. Infestation traps and damages the target for 4 to 5 turns. And there's another item you actually use with this that I'll go over in 1 second. Yawn puts the target to sleep after a turn. So what you basically do with this set is you switch in, you Infestation, prevent them from switching out, and then you Yawn, and the turn you Yawn, you just use Recover so you can heal any damage that they dealt you on the turn you yawned, and then you can just use Scald and Infestation to kill them. And Binding Band's going to make the Infestation do a little bit more damage, so it kills them kind of faster. But another thing you can do with this set is you can switch the Binding Band for the Grip Claw, which instead of lasting 4 to 5 turns, the trapping move is always going to last 7. And you can drop Yawn for Toxic. And now you kind of, with Toxic, get that damage buff that Binding Band was giving to Infestation, but you get it from Toxic, and you make sure they can't switch out for 7 turns. This version of it is a little bit more risky because the Pokemon's not asleep, so you can't recover your way back to full health while they're unconscious. You have to just sort of take it and hope the Toxic kills them first. That's why I prefer the other set, just because it's a little bit more reliable. But with this set, you can actually trap them in for a guaranteed 7 turns, and then switch out into something you know can kill it and take its hits without having to worry about them switching out on you. So this is a cool set as well, kind of like a pivoty Quagsire. Excuse me, just without the U-turn or Volt Switch. And then the final set, oh, I didn't go over the EVs. The EVs on this one, just max HP, max defense, 4 special attack for Scald with a bold nature because we're not using the physical attacks. I just use Scald because it's a chance to burn, so you have either burn and Toxic, or you have burn and Yawn. The reason I like to use Scald instead of Waterfall is because of the burn, and the only reason why, because of the burn, even though you know you're going to be using Scald on a Toxic or a Slept Pokemon, is because if it's a Poison type or a Steel type, they're immune to the Toxic, and if it's a Pokemon with Insomnia, they're immune to the Yawn. So Scald has the chance to burn, which is only not going to happen to a Fire type. So Scald is just a really good status inflictor if the Toxic or the Yawn aren't effective. And then the last set, which is my favorite set, and there's kind of 2 different ways to run this set, is you can go max HP, max attack, 4 defense, Adamant Nature. This is my favorite kind of set to run on any Pokemon, is a max HP bulky attacker. And with this set, still the Unaware ability, because now Quagsire is more of a wall breaker than a wall. Choice Band make him hit as hard as possible. He's going to have, I think, like a 190 something attack at level 50, I believe. A 150. So he's going to have a 150 attack at level 50 with an Adamant Nature. And Stab Move Earthquake, Stab Move Waterfall, both hitting super hard with the chances to flinch. Stone Edge is an extra coverage move with the high crit. And then Ice Punch as the 4 slot. Now the reason I use Ice Punch on here and not on any of the other sets, even though Grass is the only thing that hits him super effectively, is because in the other sets, he's just trying to hit with stab moves because he doesn't have a lot of attack investment or special attack investment, and he's just trying to stall other walls out or force switches. With this set, he wants to be hitting things super effectively and not stalling them because he's not a wall. So we use the Ice Punch because that's going to hit all the grass types, and with the Choice Band, it's going to hit extra hard. The other way I like to run this set, though, is if you drop this down to 88 and pump the special attack all the way up and then switch the nature to Brave, you get a decent mix of attacks, and you can drop the Waterfall for the Scald and the Stone Edge for the Ancient Power, And what's cool about this set is Ancient Power being in the set is you have a chance to raise all of your stats by 1 except for your accuracy and evasion. So basically, even though his attack stat without those EVs in it isn't really that great, and his special attack stat is definitely not great with that 164, with Ancient Power, you have a chance of making all those stats even better, including your defenses, so you actually can survive more hits after using it if you get the proc. And then Scald again just burns, which will help him survive those physical users. And the only item you need to change is change it to a Life Orb, and you'll be good to go. Life Orb or Expert Belt, because it's a pretty varied set. Not one move is the same type as another, so you could go with Expert Belt if you wanted to. I just prefer the Life Orb because his attack stats are so low. 1.3 extra damage against everything, to me, is better than 1.2 damage against only super effective things. But again, that's up to you guys on what you want to run. And I don't recommend dropping Unaware for the Water Absorb, even though I tried it at first, only because since his attack stats are so low, I'm gonna have to take those 4 out. Since his attack stats are so low, you're not really going to be wanting to have their buffs preventing you from KOing them. And Unaware is going to help kind of balance out the fact that he has such low attack stats. But yeah, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed. It was really fun trying to mess around with Quagsire. I was really not confident in the amount of sets I'd be able to build, and I was able to pull 5 out. I only thought I'd be able to get 3, so it was a really fun mon to use, and I hope you guys start using it, get those sets out there. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed. Please like, comment, and subscribe for more videos, and I will see you guys when I see you guys.
Here we go!